Leftists have a problem, and it's a fairly big one. Besides being today mostly drawing in awkward teens and tweens who are trying ideologies like fashion or focusing on appealing to oppressed people by casting the net of social activism and theory wide because inclusion is just nice, the left has a more important and basic problem. That problem is the self-presentation and communication of the left towards those who are not part of the left. The left simply does not know how to talk to normal people, and we have to be able to talk to normal people to draw them in. Part of the issue, I suppose, is that many of us on the left are a bit too self-conscious and too honest. We present ourselves as ideological because we understand ourselves as ideological. One of the things that many of us seem to miss is the fact that we live in an age in which people don't want ideologies, they despise them. And I must say, I think one of our biggest weaknesses is the fact that we think we are ideological. We are not willing to take the full hog, to go the full way, and say, we have the truth. When push comes to shove, many of us aren't sure that we're even right. We are convinced of the plausibility of our position, but we aren't certain of it. To have this ambivalence towards our own position is quite telling about how the ideology of our own time overcomes us. We too are subsumed in the ideology of postmodernity, which denies the possibility of objectivity. Thus, we do not believe that there could be an objective political position, there could not be an objective moral position. And in our honesty, we present ourselves according to that belief. We must realize that we cannot keep doing this. So, I suggest some simple things to remedy this. 1. Do not present your position as ideological. The average person does not see their view as ideological. They see it as the truth. People don't want to believe that what they know is an ideology. They want to believe that what they know is true. Present your position assuming it's fact. We must present the facts, not an ideology. Now feel free to reveal to whoever you're talking to that what they believe probably is ideological. But always present your position as truth. Skepticism and self-criticism is for the academics. For the average person, what matters is facts. Do you have them or do you not? Are you convincing or are you not? As much as you don't want to accept it, rhetoric is more important for the common person than the facts. Consider how much stronger your argument is when the facts actually align with the rhetoric. 2. Don't use jargon. You would think this would be obvious, but apparently a lot of people don't get it. Don't go around talking about the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. Nobody cares, nobody talks that way. You don't even need the academic jargon to get the points that we want to get across. Class struggle is not an arcane idea at all. Neither is exploitation. And everybody can understand production for use. You really don't need to talk like a weirdo from the 1860s. 3. Quit with the cultish stuff. Seriously. Most people find the comrade stuff, the ushankas, the pins, the flags, to be weird and off-putting. You're like a Christian who goes around calling everybody brother and sister. It's weird. Don't do it. 4, another obvious one, but apparently a lot of people have forgotten. Talk about what people actually care about. Marx was actually very theoretically good on this. He talked about how we should base ourselves on the movements that are actually going on in our days. Theory about the endgame is good, but you've got to have a plan to get there. And a plan, by the way, is not a hypothetical set of if this happens, then we can do that. But rather, this is the case now, and this is how we're going to get from what we're doing now to where we want to get. Most people don't care about your highfalutin ideas. They don't care about your radical democracy. They don't care about your from each according to their ability to each according to their need. Most people are practical and very basic. Learn to appeal to that practicality. Learn how to take their concerns and point them towards the left. Do not be an idiot and dismiss current popular demands. Do not think that you have won because you turn 1 or 2 people to your cause and away from a popular cause. You're an idiot. You missed an opportunity. How much of an impact would you have had you actually helped the cause rather than sit on the side and dismiss it? The left, in the desire to be right, ends up being completely impractical. In wanting to be the so-called true left, we end up leaving reality to be quite right-wing, when we could have pushed it much more leftward had we taken part. And finally, 5. Learn to actually communicate. Talking past an interested person isn't going to help spread your cause or comprehension. Read theory and get a real grip on it. Don't just read secondary literature where so-and-so says Marx or someone else said, but try your best to grasp and understand the original argument. Learn to translate as much as you can back into basic terms others understand. When we say capitalism and they hear capitalism, we don't understand the same thing, and let's be honest about it. Be careful with terms. Translate and compensate for the common position. Qualify and explain when it just can't be translated. Don't expect people to learn your theoretical language or even be interested in doing so. In addition, if you live around very reactionary people, 1. Either don't bother, or 2. Learn to talk their language and learn how to turn it around on them. People despise outsiders coming in and telling them what to do and what to believe. A lot easier to get people to consider your points when you can speak their language and aren't just some academic elitist asshole talking down to them. Also, for those of you who believe in meme magic, nah, not gonna happen.